What's cooking for today? Number one, something's got to give. No, we're not talking about the Iran war. We'll learn about this. Something's got to give with your workouts, but we'll talk about that. A personal story. Ran into someone over the weekend. Number two, 988 to the rescue. I never knew 988 was a suicide hotline, but we're going to briefly talk about that, how it's working. Number three, alcohol to the non-rescue. We're talking about Hangxiety. I saw it in this health minute this morning, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that word. Never heard it before. Hangxiety, and why you should not be pounding away the drinks. And finally, number four, the science of complaining. How complaining is all bad for you, all bad. But first, what's good for you? The ABCs, all body workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. How'd you do today? How'd you do yesterday, over the weekend? Hopefully great. 3 checks for me today. Hey, it's going to rain, crazy rain today in Indianapolis, so I feel the pressure with the humidity building. Yeah, pain in the back, but I still got a good workout in. Good workout, slept well, blissful sleep, colorful diet. Well, what I have today? Banana, apple, kale, eggs, coconut oil. Again, you got to do it. You got to keep the ABCs at the forefront of your mind, I believe. And speaking of what I believe, let's do this. Something's got to give. Jumping right into it because it's on the heels of the ABC. We're not talking about the rom-com from 2003. It was a Nancy Meyers film, written, directed, produced by Nancy. And who is it? Jack Nicholson, who turned 89 recently, I believe, and Diane Keaton. Really good movie about adults, a love story about adults. Go check it out. Something's got to give. That grossed over $266 million. But no, what are we talking about? We're talking about this 30-something woman that I had an exchange with, met over the weekend, very fit, very successful. And she starts telling me about her predicament, her conundrum. I go, what's that? What's a conundrum? I love this. She said, well, I got a promotion. I got a big job promotion. She goes, that's the good news. The bad news is I now work from 6:30 in the morning. She's in finance, 6:30 in the morning till 5:15 at night. She said 2 to 3 days a week I have to go out with clients, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She says Friday night are my nights out with my girls. So what am I going to do about working out? I can't work out anymore. I said, well, wait a minute. Let's back up. Let's talk about this because you need to be working out on a daily basis. How do we fix that? She says, well, sleeping. I love to sleep. That's my pastime. So I catch up on my sleep on the weekends. I do work out on the weekends. She goes, but the mornings I get up at 5:15. I got to be in the office by 6:30. I'm like, well, that's a little tight. I said, so it sounds to me like you have 3 solutions. Always think of the solution, not the problem. Solution to the problem, to the conundrum. I said, 1, you wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And by the way, she has a gym in her building. I said, wake up at 4:30 in the morning, go down to the gym, get your 30 minutes in, and you'll be at work by 6:30. Okay. She's like, well, I can't do that. Okay. Number 2, get up at 4:45. Go down to the gym, get a little workout in, and get to the work at 6:30. She's like, if I can't be up for, I said, okay. Number 3, get up at 5. I said, do some yoga push-ups by the bed, stretching, abs, a little bit of yoga. Boom. Shower, go to work. I said, but yeah, something's got to give. I says, you can't get up at 5:15, rush to work. Monday night, you're busy probably doing all your shopping. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're out till 8:30, 9 o'clock drinking, which we'll talk about. And Friday, you're out with your girls. Something's got to give. Guys, if you want to work out every single day, you want to drink from the fountain of youth, you want to build that into your life, the ABCs, something's got to give. You got to give up some sleep. And you got to go to bed earlier. That's it. That's the only solution. I don't see any other solution. Yeah, buy a little treadmill, put it under your bed, pull it out, get on it. But you got to do something. And to me, the mornings are key. All right, let's jump right into this next one. I like this next one. And you want to learn more about suicide. We're not going to go too deep into this, but I did an episode when I was doing Tola Talks Texas. This was January 4th, 2022. Go check it out. It was number 8. I did 20 of those. That was episode 8. But go check that out on my website or YouTube. But hey, I love this. July 2020. It's going back about 6 years, right? The Department of Health and Human Services introduced 988. Didn't know. I knew 911, never knew 988 as the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. They committed $1.5 billion for these crisis centers, for the field call centers. And guess what? It's working. I think that's awesome. I met a call counselor when I lived in LA. Man, that's a heavy job. But this 988 replaced a 10-digit number, and they say it's working. All right, now we know this. There's over 50,000 suicides in the U.S. on a yearly basis. Worldwide, there's close to 750,000 people commit suicide. That's one every 45 seconds, guys. In the U.S., we have one every 133 days, is it? But still, we're looking at craziness amongst suicide. So I think this is great. They believe that 4,400 adolescents and young adults have survived or are alive because of this 988, because of the program. By the way, young males, 4 times higher rate of suicide. And they say that, people over 65, as you're getting up there in age, they're less likely to use 988, but it's working. No doubt. Since 2020, suicides have gone down. It peaked actually in 2001 with the COVID and the lockdowns. I mean, that was a rough time for everybody. But hey, kudos to the Department of Health and Human Services. It's working. Keep it working. And hey, I never knew. So now we know 988 is the suicide prevention hotline. Guys, you know anybody who needs a little bit of support, give them that number. All right, number 3, talk about support. Hangxiety sucks, without a doubt. What is hangxiety? Well, they say it's the morning after. The morning after, you're all boozed up. Anxiety, sadness, irritability, brain fog, shame, guilt, all these feelings. Know it well. Hey, guys, I haven't had a drink since December 2nd, 2007. Gave it up because to me, alcohol, there's nothing good in it. It's poisonous. But hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Right? But we know heart disease, liver, kidneys, all sorts of things. It's actually the leading preventable cause of cancer is to stop drinking. Hey, and it also worsens your mental health condition. This is all proven. Now, I saw this. It was a 1-minute health minute with this Dr. Hannah Schneider from the Cleveland Clinic talking about hangxiety. It also increases the risk of suicide. Alcohol, by the way. All these bad things happen with alcohol. All right. So it talks about, she talks about what you want to do to prevent anxiety. Drink more water before you go out. Eat a healthy meal before you go out. Drink less. Of course. Hey, the woman I talked to over the weekend, I asked her, I said, so do you have to drink? I said, I remember back in my Wall Street days working for Goldman Sachs in 1985. I had to go out 3 times a week, did the same. I was drinking a bottle of wine. It was horrible. Because back then, everybody was drinking. It was a boozer era. And she said, no, nowadays, the younger people, we're not drinking as much because I might have, 1 drink, 2 drinks. If I'm going over 2 drinks, I'm feeling it the next day. Yeah, it's a long day, those 11-hour days. But you got to try to reduce it. I think so, no matter who you are. We got to look at the problems and the solution. So if you're a person who has anxiety in the morning, that's the problem. What's the solution? The solutions are easy. Cut it back. Hey, guys, do whatever. Do what works for you. I had one guy wrote me talking about marijuana. We were talking about marijuana last week. Hey, whatever works for you. But we know what the health benefits are. We know what the negatives are. Speaking of negatives, the positives and the negatives, let's jump right into this next one. The science of complaining. Read this article, The Science of Complaining, How It Harms Your Brain in the Epic Times. I read this. It's a newspaper that I read. It's also step 15 of my book, How to Drink from the Fountain of Youth. Step 15 is never complain or make excuses. Why? It's all about positivity over negativity. Your thoughts shape how you think and feel, without a doubt. It's your thoughts. So you got to bring positivity in, not negativity. What about ruminating? They talk about habitual complaining and habitual rumination. You're constantly ruminating, right? You're thinking about the negativity. You're thinking about something that happened. Repetitive negative thinking about one's performance. That's post event rumination. So, any type of rumination, it's reinforcing and amplifying the negative, not the positive. So, they did a whole article on this, how it definitely it changes. Let me read you this right here. They say in the article, look, I get the newspaper. Complaints often focus narrowly on how things affect us personally, amplifying negativity and reinforcing self-centered thinking. By intentionally considering others, what they might be feeling or why they acted as they did, we reduce emotional intensity and cultivate empathy. That's what's needed, empathy. So if you are constantly complaining, what are you complaining about? Other people? That's another thing. Speaking bad of people, we talked about that in the previous show where they were mocking this mentally ill woman on the street. Stop doing that. I mean, forget that. You got to reset to a positivity, to a positive place, because it's bad for your health. Complaining, without a doubt, it's bad for your health. It's not problem solving, right? It's not impulse control because you're complaining. It also affects your memory. It affects a lot of things. But hey, guys, stop doing it. Got to stay positive. All right. Hey, there's so many things to be negative about in the universe, right? You see it, right? Wars don't end. They go on and on. I mean, hey, we're in a good place right now, putting pressure on Iran. Hopefully this thing gets wrapped up soon. But everything has lasting effects. Negativity has lasting effects. Complaining. What are you complaining about? Look at the bright side. Go find the solution. Don't be the problem. It doesn't do anything anyway. It makes you look weaker. I believe that. So stop your complaining. But hey, guys, let's finish up with the 3 Tola takeaways because I think they're crucial. Again, number 1, respect the ABCs. Got to do it. Got to get that working in. You got to give up something. If you're not able to work out a little bit in the morning, remember 1% is 15 minutes. That's it. You're 99% of the day you're doing other things. So you got to bring it in. The ABCs, blissful sleep, colorful diet. It's important. Number 2, pick up the phone, call somebody, go visit somebody, share your love today. And number 3, always be willing to accept another person's opinion. Just because it's not yours doesn't mean it's wrong. All right, guys, have an awesome day. And as always, get your workout in. Peace.